Be aware of the narrow-minded snakes. That's something I've been noticing a lot these days is you get people who proclaim so much and are declarative about it, but then when held up to the most minuscule amount of scrutiny, their entire facade just disintegrates. And you've seen this in so many public figures and politicians and probably your own friends. And they, a fact of human beings are, if your principle isn't held universally, then you are an unprincipled person. No two ways about that at all. And so you see people who will gain a following or get voted into office and say that, you gotta pull yourself up by your bootstraps, or you can't be a soft motherfucker to this. And then you figure out that they've been doing the exact thing that they've been telling you is the biggest problem with society. And then they've got themselves into such a bind by saying such fucking bullshit that they have to triple down and just embarrass themselves so much more that it's a shame. It makes no sense. You harness the ability to speak to people, right? You get the chance in this world to say something to somebody. And the moment that you build that up on something that is incorrect, you're gambling with destiny right there. And I know that very well. Don't need to go into that. But I see it as somebody who's trying my best to avoid this, falling into the same rut that I have several times before in my life, where I find it easier to gain what I wanted by telling an untruth. Maybe not lying, but massaging the truth. And then before you know it, you are saying that you're the only exception to a principle that you've claimed and have professed for decades, and just doing mental gymnastics to try to excuse yourself from something that you know is inexcusable, but being so deluded by that point that you can't even tell. And you just keep tripling and doubling down, and there's no chance to gain your bearing again. And people at this point, I mean, it's so toxic, but you can make mistakes as a person. There's nothing wrong with being wrong as long as you know what it is. You try to make it better. You don't let wrongs go, unaddressed for the most part. There's a lot to life that these people make seem ludicrously simple, because it is not simple and everybody wants it to be. And I'm sorry, but it's not. And I think that the cycle goes, somebody with good intentions starts out, and I know it's like trend chasing or whatever, or algorithm following, but now there's a culture in our society where we're just eating ourselves, all of us in a big circle rotation all the time. And no one is upholding the standards that we hold others to, and nobody's asking the other to hold up a good standard. And so beware of the narrow-minded snakes.